This video is part of a writing course on Udemy, available on Udemy and edufund.com. Hi there and welcome. Today we'll dive into writing the first draft of your very own fairy tale adaptation. Writing a first draft might sound a little intimidating, but don't worry, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. The first draft is all about turning your ideas into a story. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to exist. By the end of this lesson, you'll know exactly how to take your creative ideas and transform them into the first version of your very own fairy tale. Are you ready? Let's get started. Before we dive into writing, let's take a moment to prepare. Do you remember our story planning from the last module? If you haven't done it yet, take a few minutes to do that now. It will guide you through your writing adventure by helping you focus on your characters, setting, and plot. Here's a tip. Keep your planning nearby as you write. If you ever feel stuck, you can always look back at your notes to remind yourself of your ideas. Most fairy tales follow a simple structure, and you can use this formula to help you write your story. Start with once upon a time. This sets the tone for your story and introduces your magical world. Introduce your main character. Who are they? Where do they live? What do they want? Add a problem or challenge. Every fairy tale has some kind of trouble. Maybe a wicked villain, a tricky riddle, or a big decision the character has to make. Take your character on a journey. This is where the adventure happens. They might meet helpers, face obstacles, or learn something important. End with a resolution. How does the story wrap up? Does your hero solve the problem? Do they live happily ever after? You can follow this structure as closely as you want, or you can go off the beaten path and make your story completely unique. Let's try an example together. Imagine your main character is a dragon who wants to bake the perfect cake. How might you introduce this character? You could write, once upon a time in a cozy cave at the top of a mountain, there lived a dragon named Puff. Puff loved baking, but every time he tried to bake a cake, he accidentally set it on fire. See how a simple beginning can set up the character and the problem? Here's the fun part. This is your story. Don't be afraid to get creative. You can add twists, surprises, and even a little humor. Maybe your story takes place in a futuristic city instead of a magical forest. Maybe your villain turns out to be a hero. There are no limits to what you can create. If you ever find yourself wondering what happens next, try asking, what if? What if the main character has a secret? What if the villain is actually misunderstood? What if the setting changes halfway through the story? The more you play with these ideas, the more exciting your story will become. Here's a secret. First drafts don't have to be perfect. In fact, no first draft is perfect. Your job is to get the story out of your head and onto the page. Don't worry about spelling, grammar, or even making everything make sense just yet. Think of your first draft as the bones of your story. You'll have plenty of time to add details, fix mistakes, and polish it later. For now, just focus on writing one sentence after another. Writing can be hard work, so it's important to enjoy the process. If you're feeling stuck or tired, take a short break. Go for a walk, draw a picture, or talk through your ideas with someone. The best stories come from writers who are excited about their work. So, if you find yourself smiling while writing, you're doing it right. All right, it's time to grab your pencil, your planning, and your imagination. Start with once upon a time and see where your story takes you. Remember, every great story starts with a first draft, and I can't wait to see what you create. Good luck and have fun writing!